not push our press into communicating in a more secretive way, which was very dangerous for some of us who are here. Radio Kato, you know what it did? Those who are old enough and they are in government. We know Radio Tanzania in 1979, what was communicating, and the results were all those governments went. I don't want to go that direction, and the government goes just because you are gagging the press. Thanks very much on that one. Point number 2. The whole country. Point number 2 is, you know, all of you are aware that we nominated our candidate, Mr. Muchibi Sadat, and I'm sure by now all of you know, and you have heard what this young man is made of and is capable of doing. Some people did not know that we had a candidate who does not only have potential, but is exceedingly brilliant. They are the type of people we get in FDC. They are trained in our own way, and they become very good national citizens. So Sadat is going out for his campaigns, starting today, where we'll be in Ishkaya, and Tuesday we'll be in Chebando. This program, I think you know it. But before I go in details about Mr. Sadat Muchibi, there's something worth noting with the EC of Uganda. All of you know our voting starts at 7 a.m. in the morning and ends at 4. All of you know it. What is so touching in Kampala in particular is that we have polling stations where the people are supposed to vote on those polling stations. Some polling stations like Kawempe 2, Namandunkoyo's home, has about 1,000 voters on a polling station, which does not happen up country in many areas. But in Kampala, you have a polling station of 1,100. Another one is here, 1,020 people. That's Chebando, LC1 meeting place, M to NAK. But if you are to divide the time we are given for voting, you know that the people of Kampala are going to be differentiated. They will not be able to vote, practically. Let's assume that you have 9 hours from 7 to 4 p.m. Now we are talking about 540 minutes exactly. Those are the 9 hours. And you know, for someone to vote, let's give a conservative figure, which is next to impossible. You take 2 minutes. You go and check your name. They give you a ballot. You vote the first person and the second one. You take 2 minutes. So practically, only 270 people can vote in 540 minutes on a polling station. But now here you have a polling station of about 1,000 people. 270 can practically vote in those 9 hours. What is going to happen in the rest? What will happen? The lines will be too long, and some individuals, because the lines are too long, they drive back home, they will not vote. And somehow this one is done deliberately. In some areas, people are on those polling stations, they are about 350, at least 500, something like that. But in Kampala, we still have polling stations of 1,000 people. If I would count here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 6 polling stations out of 197 have more than 1,000 voters. Practically, they can't vote. Then they give you statistics. The voter turnout in Kampala was 42%. Thinking that people didn't come out to vote, but just because the lines were too long, people stayed away. And this one is done deliberately, Mr. Biabaka Massa. Why do you have polling stations of 1,000 people? Well, polling stations are supposed to be about 500 people per polling station. So deliberately, more than 50% of the people in Kawempe can't vote. Practically, they can't vote in those 9 hours. Why do you plan it like that? And you know now, Kawempe, if you take that time which I've calculated for you, 2 minutes, then the maximum now people who can vote in Kawempe are 53,190. Practically, those who can vote. If they have used 2 minutes per voter in the time of 9 hours. But as of 2021 records, Kawempe North has 164,052 voters. If you are calculating this percentage here, it's just over 30%. So practically only 30% of people can vote in Kawempe North. People go and calculate it out. 30% practically can vote. So we are disenfranchising more than 100,000 people in Kawempe. I don't know how practical it can be that this thing can be resolved as quickly as possible, but I would have prayed that EC would have increased the number of polling stations, so I don't disenfranchise Ugandans in Kawempe. Then you just say, people didn't turn out to vote, but you are the one stopping them from voting. So EC should do their work before we go into these elections, if they see time to do it. FDC don't want to take these things lying down. That's why even we're telling this of the security that don't over squeeze the nose of FDC. You joke with these other parties, maybe they can joke. But FDC, if you squeeze us to those dangerous levels, we can defy accordingly. We have the capacity, we have ever done it, we have lost very few wars as far as that angle is concerned. We will not allow you to differentiate our people. We may even talk to them and they stay in the line even up to midnight to make sure that you work for 2 days UEC if you don't sort out this thing here. We don't allow you to go home. We have to work on our people until they finish voting, because you are the one who is making these mistakes here. Lastly, I'll talk about our candidates shortly. Yes, 3/4. You've seen Sadat. I heard some people say this is a young man. Some people saying whatever they were saying. But in Aganaga we have not only a brilliant young man, but a young man who has seen it all at a very young age. Some of us who grew up in not so bad low families, we cannot appreciate what the people of Kawempe are going through, and some of the parents are going through in Kawempe. He's a young man who grew up with a single mother. He doesn't have enough money. They have to work. Sometimes they miss meals. But despite all that, he managed to go to school. In not so good schools, those schools which are not very good. Some of us went to very good schools when we were still young. Even our children have gone to these first-class schools. But this is a young man, has very little to eat. The mother is just selling some tomatoes here and there. But he went through it and went up to A level. You people, this young man here passed very well. Go and tell Cow to give me a copy of a certified copy from UNED. Right? Go and tell Cow to give it to me. I show these people. When he gave us those results, maybe these results are not his. We wrote to UNED. They certified to us that this young man got A, B, B at A level. Not from a good school like Ibudo, or Chisubi, or Chitovu, where some of us went, but from some school near. Which brings us to consider something very important as FDC. How many young men are dying out there who are extraordinarily brilliant, who would have been very good lawyers? But because he's coming from a family which is not so good, but he struggled through it, he got those results despite the environment he was going through. And when he could not continue, he found it wise to join music. The reason why now we are supporting this young man here is because he knows those people who are living in such conditions. So when he's going up there to talk about them,